First up, it looks like the ankle injury Daniel Craig sustained while filming Bond 25 in Jamaica is a bit more serious than previously reported. From Variety, the franchise's official Twitter account posted this today. It reads, Bond 25 update. Daniel Craig will be undergoing minor ankle surgery resulting from an injury sustained during filming in Jamaica. Production will continue whilst Craig is rehabilitating for 2 weeks post-surgery. The film remains on track for the same release date in April 2020. Original director Danny Boyle exited last August over creative differences, which led the film's release being delayed nearly 6 months from October 2019 to April 2020. The film is scheduled for release in the UK through Universal on April 3, 2020, and in the US through United Artists, releasing on April 8, 2020. Next up, Netflix is teaming with Forest Whitaker to produce a live-action family movie, Hello Universe, based on the best-selling novel of the same name by Aaron and Trada Kelly. From The Hollywood Reporter, Hello Universe will portray a bully's antics landing a timid boy in the bottom of a well, followed by a self-proclaimed psychic friend and unknowing crush joining forces to find him. Kelly's novel tells intertwining stories of 2 boys and 2 girls as it celebrates bravery and finding your inner Bayani, or hero. Next up, Cinedigm has acquired North American rights to Madness in the Method, the feature directing debut of Jason Mewes, who teams to star with his Jay and Silent Bob buddy Kevin Smith in the meta-comedy. From Deadline, in the film, Mewes plays a version of himself. Tired of Hollywood's perception of him, he embarks on a quest to reinvent himself as a serious actor. Upon advice from best friend Kevin Smith, he tracks down a secretive method acting book with disastrous consequences. The film will also star Danny Trejo, the late Stan Lee, Terry Hatcher, Brian O'Halloran, Dean Cain, and Judd Nelson. Next up, when we reunite with Captain America in Avengers Infinity War, we get the impression that he and fellow fugitive, Black Widow, have been conducting clandestine missions on their own outside of the law. The assumption is that they have either been living on the run or basing themselves out of Wakanda. From Cinema Blend, however, according to screenwriters Stephen McFeely and Christopher Marcus, Infinity War almost had Captain America and Emily VanCamp's Sharon Carter living together. But despite the function it would have served, addressing a lingering plot thread and providing some background for what Cap was up to and where he has been in the 2 years since Civil War, this part of the script got the axe. Just because she and Steve never got to live a blissful domestic life together on the big screen doesn't mean we've seen the last of Emily VanCamp's Sharon Carter in the MCU. The actress is in talks to reprise her role for the Falcon and Winter Soldier miniseries on Disney+, alongside Daniel Bruhl's Zemo. Next up, Amblin has announced that Skeet Ulrich of Scream and Laura Harrier of BlacKkKlansman have signed on to join the cast of the upcoming sci-fi drama BIOS. From ComingSoon.net, they will be joining Oscar winner Tom Hanks, Caleb Landry Jones of Get Out, and Samira Wiley of The Handmaid's Tale. The film follows Finch, played by Hanks, the last man on Earth, an alien inventor facing his own mortality. Finch must build a robot, played by Jones, to keep his beloved dog safe. As the trio embarks on an epic cross-country journey, the scientist must teach his creation to become human enough to take care of its charge, and the beloved pet to accept a new master. And finally, with the end of Game of Thrones only a few days behind us, discussion is already turning to what HBO plans to do next in the rich fantasy world. One thing fans can definitively cross off their wish list, though, is a spin-off following the adventures of Arya Stark. From Slash Film, in a new interview, HBO programming president Casey Bloys specifically dismissed that idea when he said the following: "I understand where that comes from, I totally get it. But in terms of wanting to be careful not overdoing it or killing the goose that lays the golden egg, Dan and David's show as it stands in 8 seasons, I want to leave it as its own work of art and not have shows directly having Arya do that. I think it's best to try the prequels in other areas of George's massive universe. Just feels like the right thing to do. Let the show stand on its own." HBO already has one Game of Thrones successor show that's moving forward, Jane Goldman's prequel set long before the events depicted in the Mothership series. Production on that pilot begins in June. And that will do it for today's installment of the Movie News Feed.